Hello and welcome to the Work for Change podcast. It's your host, Jean.
You almost said it's your boy, didn't you?
No, I almost said it's your co-host. And then I didn't want to settle to that.
You are the co-host. I'm the main host and you're the co-host.
That's not how that works.
And it's me, your main host, the main reation everyone is here, John.
That is while that is a true statement.
It's also very douchey.
We're equally co-hosts, therefore equally co-hosts.
You're the assistant to the co-host.
That is not. That's Sam.
That's true, yeah.
And then when she's on the episode, she's another co-host.
She's the other co-host.
Yeah.
Welcome to episode 85 of the Work for Change podcast, you guys. This is going to be a good old-fashioned Glaudecast. Me and my brother, a.k.a. the assistant to the co-host, Jean, is here with me. And we got some things to talk about.
No, we don't.
We don't have anything to talk
about. We're purposely kind of keeping this one kind of relaxed and chill because
we've been talking about some serious stuff, man.
It's been an intense couple weeks, and sometimes you just need to get away from the intensity.
Yeah.
I did actually just spend time on vacation this week.
Jean gets away from the intensity usually by not working out for a few months.
Yeah, it's been pretty great. The intensity we're talking about here is CrossFit, and I have decided to quit right after I became a coach.
I've decided it was too hard, and I would rather do swim class.
No, okay.
Swimming is actually hard, too.
Yeah. I did that in high school. It was fun. Good times. I almost joined the water polo team.
We had swim class.
Joined the water polo team.
You just wanted to be in that Speedo, man.
No, yeah, that's what I want to do. But then I also almost joined the football team. But for both reasons I didn't. It's because I said that those sports overlapped, even though I didn't join any sport. And I was like, nah, I can't join the football team. I'm sorry, I want to do water polo. Like, hey, John, join the water polo team. Nah, I can't. I want to do the football team. And then I just didn't do any team.
At our high school, you had to take one semester of swim. So everyone had to swim basically in the high school. And I remember, so obviously I was a freshman, and obviously I was a chonky boy then. And I remember I swam every day in a shirt. Why? What is the point of that? And I know the point because I was super insecure. But, so this is gross. So, I swim every day in a shirt. And so you'd think that you'd take that shirt home and wash it. Sometimes I wouldn't.
You
just leave it in my locker.
Leave it in your locker wet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Disgusting. And sometimes it'd get rusty. The shirt would.
Yeah. Yeah. Lockers were fun.
So disgusting.
Someone stole stuff out of my lockers twice.
Really?
Yeah. I also never used a lock, so it's my fault.
That's your fault. Yeah.
I've had stuff stolen out of my locker at like 24 Hour Fitness as well. I didn't use a lock. It's always my fault.
One time I was changing and my wiener popped out. Someone definitely looked at it, but he was nice enough not to say anything.
In middle school?
That was very embarrassing.
In middle school, I was wearing a pair of basketball shorts that were way too big.
Uh-huh.
So I used a shoelace to tie it, and then I was like jumping around doing something in middle school. And then the shorts fell, and I was wearing those cloth boxers that just pretty much are wide open all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, they're not cloth. They're not underwear material.
The old school boxers.
Yeah,
that have the fly is open. There's no button or anything like that.
Yeah. And a girl saw it and started laughing.
Ooh.
That was...
And her name is Sam. And
no, that started a complex for me, for sure.
Yeah, that was tough, but luckily the guy was cool enough to not make a big deal. But it was like, how you're like when you're changing, you kind of keep your eyes forward. You know what I mean? You're not looking down. At least that's how it was in my locker room. And when it happened, his eyes went from eye level to looking in my eyes to down to up, and I was just like, yeah, he definitely saw that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh well.
I pooped my pants in middle school.
What?
Yeah. I pooped my pants in middle school.
In
middle school, just like in all of its glory.
You were just like,
I was just
and then you pooped or what?
Yeah. No, so it was mile day, and I was like, Coach, I have to go to the bathroom.
And he didn't believe you?
No.
Yeah.
And I was somewhat active in middle school. Like I liked trying to beat the fast kids in class and all. I wasn't you.
Hey, that's very true. The coaches literally made it to where I was the helper, so I didn't have to do things.
Yeah. So
they were just like, yeah, we're not gonna wait 30 minutes for this kid to do a mile.
Yeah, it was like literally be like, oh, that kid got a 6-minute mile. I wonder if I can get that.
Yeah,
I never did.
I never thought that way. I was like, I wonder if I could get out of the mile today.
So it wasn't like I was like actively avoiding anything, but I was like, Coach, you got to listen to me. I need to use the restroom.
This is not a false alarm.
And he was like, you got to finish your mile first. I was like, okay. So probably PR mile. Know what I mean?
4-minute mile.
No question at all. Probably just the fastest mile I've ever ran. And it's like I run by, he hits the stopwatch to let me know my time, and I don't stop. And I just run. And I run, and the PE was not close to the bathrooms. There was not they weren't far, but they weren't close. And so then there's this fence that's like blocking the quad grassy area. It's not a fence, it's like a bar. And I clear the bar, and I'm running, and I open the bathroom door, and as I'm going, it just all...
So you were in the bathroom?
In the bathroom.
Were you in the stall?
No.
Oh,
no. But I
sucks.
went into a stall.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, okay, how do I do this? This sucks, And if you can imagine, the urgency in which I needed to go did not produce
Excuse me.
a solid.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I
You made a mess.
Yeah. And so then I tried to clean as much as I could with toilet paper and paper towels and all that stuff. And then I go to the nurse. I think I threw the boxers away or something.
Well, I would hope so.
Yeah. And then I went to the nurse, and I'm in my PE clothes. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, I need to go home. And she's like, why? And I'm like, I'm not telling you. I just need to go home. Call my mom. And she's like, no. Back and forth. I'm like, I am not telling you why I need to go home. I just need to go home. So nurses out there, there's some element of sometimes people just don't want to tell you. You know what I mean? Sometimes there's just something going on. They're like, please don't make me say it out loud.
But of course she's gonna ask you when you're in middle school and you're trying to go home. They need to figure out why.
But why would I make a trail by going to the nurse's office? If I just want to ditch,
It's true.
let's just leave.
Yeah.
But I went to the nurse's office, and then I was like, okay, I pooped my pants.
She was like, what?
I'm like, I pooped my pants. And then
You did what now?
I promise I will never do anything to ruin our friendship like pooping my pants.
Old school Derek comedy from YouTube. If anyone knows what that is, you're
Shout
an
out.
OG for sure.
And so then she's like, oh, yeah, let me call your mom. And then she closes the door, calls my mom, and my mom's like, I'll be there right away. And that was the story of when I pooped my pants in middle school.
Nice.
Yeah. Do you have any stories like that?
Yes. I'm not sure if I want to tell them.
Because they're recent.
Well, last week I was running a mile. No,
Poop my pants in CrossFit.
the one that, man, this is a weird podcast. If this is your first time listening, give us 5 stars.
Comment, subscribe.
Comment, and subscribe.
Swipe up.
This is the content you guys are here for. I know it. It was when we were living at our old house, and I think you were there. I'm not sure if I've told this already on the podcast, but we were basically, it was when I was I don't know, probably 11 or 12. And for some reason we were playing a game where we were someone would go into the closet, right? And then we would do something, we'd close the closet door, and then we'd do something funny, and then someone would open it, and then they'd
see us
doing something funny, and then everyone would laugh, right?
And you close the closet door.
And so I decided to move.
Johnny came up with the game. He called it Coming Out of the Closet.
Shut up. But don't start those rumors. I already have enough of those. There's every time I do a Q&A. Are you gay? I'm not gay, okay? But so I was doing, what I decided to do, of course, was moon you guys.
Yeah.
And I mooned you guys. I was laughing super hard. I thought it was the funniest thing ever. And I turned around, and I think it was you. You kicked me in the stomach. You kicked me in the stomach. And then so I was laughing. He kicks me in the stomach, and then I get pushed against the wall. And as I got pushed against the wall, I pooped a little bit. And so then I moved, and then there was just poop on the wall.
On the wall. Just freaking on the wall.
And that's my story.
Yeah.
And then everyone made fun of me.
That was
And
my bedroom.
now everyone knows on the internet. So that's great.
Yeah.
And so I was pretty young. It was last week when this happened. So no, I think I was 11 or 12 or something like that. But yeah, that's my poop in my my pants story.
I mean, I'm going to be if you want to get super honest, I gambled and lost within this year.
Oh my God.
So,
are you serious?
Yeah.
When? You have to tell the story. You can't not tell the story.
It was about exactly a year ago. We had just moved into our house. No one else moved in yet. It was only me.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just okay, well, I'm just going to let one go. And then it was just oh no. And I literally took them off and put them in the washer. And it was the only thing in the washer. I thought I was in the safety of my own home.
So the first time you used the washer at our house, it was
poopy pants.
Poo-poo pants.
Yeah. It was a little amount, but it was enough. It was enough to need the washer.
Oh my god!
Man, sometimes you just take a gamble and you lose. You gotta shoot your shot.
You gotta shoot your shot.
Yeah. Shoot is shoot. All right, kill is kill.
Oh my god! This is the worst episode we've ever had.
I think people are really learning a lot of stuff about us.
A lot of stuff about us.
Yeah.
So this is okay. I have a story. This is more sad than it is funny. So when I was at my heaviest, this was like around when I was at my heaviest. So I was, probably close to 400 pounds at this point. I was at church and I was in like the high school group or whatever. And they had these little seats, like they were like these little cheap white plastic chairs. And I was wearing a white long, it was like, I used to dress like in really big clothes, obviously, right? So I was wearing like one of those long tees,
like
but it was
tees.
white. Yeah, it was a white tall tee. And I was sitting in the chair and I was like, man, I'm really uncomfortable. And I could man, when I was bigger, man, it was like half the time I felt like I had just like residual poop in my butt. Like just being honest, like it was really hard to wipe my butt.
Yeah.
Like this is really weird to talk about, but
hey, it's the things that people don't talk about with obesity, all right?
yeah, but it was hard. Like I legit would have to wipe like 6 times every time I went to the bathroom, right? And sometimes it wasn't enough, and this time it wasn't enough, and I could feel like, oh yeah, there's some sloshing going on, but I didn't think anything really of it until I got home and I took the shirt off, and there was literally poop on the shirt.
No,
dude, I was so embarrassed for myself, and I don't know. I don't know if anyone saw it, if they maybe thought I saw it in chocolate or anything, but it definitely was not chocolate.
Yeah.
And it was like, that was very embarrassing for myself. And I think, honestly, that made it to where I don't really like wearing, I'll wear them now, white shirts, for a very long time. Did not wear white shirts.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that was horrible. That was not fun.
No, I haven't I haven't had a moment like that, but I definitely have had one.
Well, yeah, of course you haven't.
Yeah.
It's kind of a specific thing that happens.
I've had non-thorough wipes though.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of I would say that's everyone. Everyone's dealt with that for sure.
Yeah.
It's just harder when you're bigger, man, because one, it's hard to reach, and two, it's like there's so much surface area, and it's definitely. I'm very lucky that I never got to the point where I needed like tools and stuff, but like.
Yeah.
That's one of the things, man, when it's like people talk about, oh, health at every size, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, okay, fine, health at every size, but can you wipe your butt?
Yeah, like life at every size.
If you can't
living at every size.
If you can't wipe your butt because of your size, or if you can't wipe your butt without a special tool, or if you can't fit into regular stalls, I don't think that that's society's fault.
Yeah.
You know?
Totally.
Like, if you, so.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, to the people who aren't living in the weight loss influencer world, that's a non-controversial statement.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, of course. Mm-hmm. But I definitely know that there's a culture out there of like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're claiming oppression and claiming life isn't fair for them. And like, again, like, I don't want to like, make little of those people's struggles, because they're definitely struggles. Mm-hmm. But I think that to what extent do you take responsibility, and what extent do you blame society? And it's just that whole responsibility versus blame conversation that we've had before.
Fault versus responsibility.
Yeah, fault, responsibility.
It's I mean, I've obviously talked about this a lot on the channel, but the thing that bothers me the most is when people equate being discriminated against or having struggles because of your weight as the same as having struggles because of this color of your skin. And that just frustrates me, because it's a lot of people are now trying to basically turn the narrative to it's impossible to lose weight. Like, that is a very popular kind of line of thinking right now. And obviously that frustrates me, because I've kept off 180 pounds for 6 years now, right? Mm-hmm. Like, and so it's annoying to me, because it's just not true, and it's a lie that people are telling to make other people feel better about things, which, I mean, I understand. And like, I'm not sitting here saying everyone should feel like trash. Like, I don't want that, but it's not the same. Like, being discriminated against because of your size, again, it's not right. And like, you shouldn't be discriminated against, but like, as far as like talking about systematic oppression because of your size, it's like, well, you can change that, right? Like, if you're born a black man in America, you can't really change that unless you, and whenever I say that, people are like, well, Michael Jackson did, but obviously, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not no one else is doing that.
Yeah.
So
I mean, outside of the, there's the people who speculate it was a medical condition. People who speculate.
Alopecia. I think he had.
It's like nonetheless.
Is that the right one? No, I don't think alopecia is when you don't have any hair. I forget which one it is.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think alopecia is you don't have any hair because in Arrested Development, there's that guy, and they kept calling him that he is an alpaca.
His eyebrows always fall off and stuff.
But I mean, to think that let's just say it wasn't a medical condition, but it was a desire to bleach your skin. It's like what society created that desire for a man to feel like in order for him to be accepted, he needed to bleach his skin. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Those are some deep questions that we are not going to get into on the Poop Talk podcast.
Yeah, Poop Talk podcast.
But like I was saying, like I went on vacation.
You went on vacation for like 2 days.
I went on vacation for 5 days. Okay, and it was nice.
You were only out of the house for a day, and it was BS.
Yeah.
I was ready to be alone for a while.
No,
and
I told you it was a staycation.
It was a 1 day. I'm gonna be gone for a single day.
Yeah, it was nice.
Unbelievable.
But I didn't work for 5 days, and that's what's important. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what you do is when you team it up with a national holiday, and you team it up with a weekend, like a 3-day weekend and stuff like that. You get a lot of bang for your buck,
mm-hmm.
and that's what I got. And went on vacation, so definitely was able to like come back refreshed and like excited to
tell
like
the story.
I pooped my pants.
No. Well, I was at the pool and they had to close it down.
Let it go. Let it go.
Tell the story, bro. You know what story I'm telling.
Yeah, I know. Well, hold on. I'll get there.
Okay, fine.
So
no one wants to hear about how you were refreshed. They want to hear the story.
Nah, man, I feel refreshed
because I pooped my pants.
Yes, it was a long time coming.
We're children.
So we go to this hotel, very nice hotel, and I'm not gonna put.
Yeah, you don't have to put the.
I'm
hotel
not
on
gonna throw them on blast because they handled it very well. But we were Sam and I. We checked in and we were super excited to like start the activities of the day, which was gonna be going to the pool, going to the beach, and so we're just kind of like looking at the hotel room because it was a nicer hotel room. Like it was on the higher end of what we've paid for a night before.
Mm-hmm.
And so then she didn't choose what kind of room. She just said like a standard room, and it came with 2 beds. Yeah.
Well, the thing is,
I think she's trying to say something.
In their room, they have 2 beds too, but for some reason, John sleeps on the floor. It's very weird.
because I shard at night.
John has a problem, you guys.
So in between both beds, there was a like night dresser or whatever, nightstand.
Night dresser.
With 3 drawers. And so we opened the first drawer and we're like talking to the receptionist trying to figure out what's open because of COVID and all that stuff. All the restaurants or whatever and what the rules were. And there's like this little package, and so we're thinking like, oh, it's like bedtime games or like slit face or eye mask or something like that. You know what I mean? Like nighttime stuff. And we open it up and it's just a freaking 22.
What's a 22?
Like a gun. Just a handheld gun.
Handheld gun.
Or like a 9mm. I don't know.
It was a handgun.
It was a handgun.
There was a handgun in your
pistol.
hotel room.
It was a whip. Pistol whip. A whole thing.
Please stop. You don't know what you're talking about.
I think it was about a 36 caliber.
There was a full revolver in there. It was a full
X9 semi-automatic.
Semi-automatic Tech 9 M16 Aroni. Yep.
Yeah, one of those.
There was a musket in. There was a blunderbuss in our hotel room. It was wild.
Yeah. And so anyway.
So there was a handgun in the dresser.
Yeah. And so then...
Okay, so what happens next?
Well, we didn't hear anything that the receptionist said after that. So we just hung up because we were like, what do we do? We have a literal handgun in our room right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so then we call back and we go, hey, can we have someone come to the room? And then they're kind of like, why? Like very like, oh my gosh, why are you saying it like that? You know?
Yeah. Why were they being so rude?
Like, can you have someone come to the room? Why? Well, we found something. What'd you find? Just something. Well, what is it? It's a gun. Oh, okay. We'll have someone come right away. Like literally, just like.
How do you forget a gun?
How do you forget a gun, and how do you not clean up? Like,
yeah, that's
what I'm kind of wondering.
There's so many
like
failures that led to that happening.
Yeah, and so the management comes and they profusely apologized, and then they comped us the room. So it was like,
There you go.
It ended up working out for us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The craziest thing is they brought the gun.
Yeah, exactly. No, I thought about it. I was like, man, I want, like, if we just go to nice hotel rooms and then buy guns.
Just get an airsoft gun.
One is gun, like, just buy a gun that's cheaper than the hotel room.
Or you just get an
And you're coming
airsoft
out on
gun. It's like
top.
$20, and then you'd be like, I didn't know it was fake. I thought it was a real gun.
I thought it was a real gun.
I'm scared, and I would like. I don't understand why someone didn't clean this, and I would like.
But they said, I mean, what they said was like, do you feel comfortable in this room? I'm like, yeah, I actually don't care. I really don't mind. I was like, the only thing I'm worried about is the fact that the person might come back for their gun. And they're like, well, we're going to call them. So you probably don't need to worry about that. But besides that, like, they comped the room, and it was super nice. And I'm punching myself because I should have upgraded 100%. I should have been like, you know what? A nice
We would like the
room.
presidential suite now.
There was a very nice room we saw. We would like that one.
You should have done that.
But nah, I just felt so bad for them.
Why would you? Why?
I don't
If
know,
there's no
I
one
just-
in it, they're not making money on it anyways.
I know, it's just empathy, man. Just feeling for them, feeling bad that they're in that situation. I don't want to feel like I'm taking advantage of them.
Take advantage of them, man. That's what I would do.
But anyway, we had a very wonderful, wonderful time, and I came back from vacation refreshed with clean pants.
Because he threw the other ones away.
yeah, I had to buy new pants. That was the thing. They're clean new pants. I had a reason to talk about the vacation. I just don't remember what it was.
You were so refreshed.
I'm just on
and-
vacation mode, you know?
Yeah.
Today was actually my first day back at work. So.
Yeah.
So vacation mode. Oh, the reason why I brought it up is because did I talk to the podcast about my challenge to work 5 days a week? Work out 5 days a week?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I succeeded.
Yep.
There we go. Last week I didn't succeed because I was on vacation. But that's my new thing, man. Is
You're gonna try and work out 5 days a week or what?
I'm gonna work out 5 days a week minimum, Monday through Friday. If I get Saturday or Sunday in, it's a bonus. And then the thing I was talking about right before quarantine, right before it, was that I want to see, and it was like it's called the what everyone should do plan. I want to see like how fit and how whatever I can get off 1 hour a day of training, working out, and a somewhat like managed
Not
diet.
stupid diet.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like a somewhat smart, planned.
Is it called what everyone should do because you made that up, or is that like a thing?
No, I made it. I just made that up.
Okay.
But it's like the idea is that like Jason Ackerman, who we had on the podcast, always talks about how like the most people's answer to let me get more fit is let me work out more. And he's like, there are so many other variables you should be doing. You know what I mean? There are so many other things you should do before working out more is the next option you choose. And so it's like if I'm going to coach people, because I'm a coach, CrossFit level 1. Thank you very much.
Ballin'.
Level 1 trainer.
Killing it.
Can't even really say coach. I say trainer.
Why can't you say coach?
If a certified coach is level 3, level 4, CrossFit
Whatever.
level 1 trainer is level 1, level 2.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, you can be a coach of a gym, but you can't be a certified CrossFit coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my thing is I want to work out Monday through Friday because that's where most people work Monday through Friday. They have a full-time job, as do I. And then just try to manage how do I manage my diet throughout the rest of the week doing that. And then just see that, you can actually be somewhat fit.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
I mean, I get so many questions of people right now asking me like how much I work out, and honestly, like it's kind of been similar. Like I've been pretty much doing like one workout, and I might go walk or whatever.
You do some but I think what's nice is like, well, maybe not. I don't know. Your hobby has been working out for so long.
Yeah.
Your hobby was let me go to 24-hour fitness and let me get a bicep pump. You know what I mean? Because you
Still
just enjoyed
is,
it,
bro.
Yeah. But
Actually, haven't been to 24
late.
in very many months.
Yeah, but lately your hobby has been running, walking, or recently cycling.
Yeah.
So those are more like socially acceptable hobbies. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's true.
Like if you go to the gym and you're like, I'm gonna go run
Oh,
tonight.
you're a meathead.
You know, but
Go
like
to the gym.
if you go to CrossFit in the morning and then go run at night, people are like, oh, yeah,
Yeah.
cool. If you go, I'm going to go to CrossFit in the morning, then I'm going to go to the gym at night, people are like...
People think I'm a psychopath, which
So,
is fine.
Yeah. How is these new hobbies been treating you?
So the cycling is nice. So if you're not following me on like Instagram, obviously I've been posting a lot of cycling stuff. And so this is with cycling, it's been something that I've been wanting to get into for a while. The reason being was I wanted to do a triathlon, right? And I actually signed up for one. I was talking about it on the podcast, right, before quarantine. And so
around the same time I was talking about working out once a day, you're like, yeah, I'm going to do a triathlon.
Yeah.
I'm like, sweet.
Same, bro. It's all whatever. Mm-hmm. This is my job, right? You have a real job. Mm-hmm. I have YouTube. But so I have been like wanting to do cycling, but then once everything closed down, I was not comfortable spending a lot of money on a bike that I wasn't able to see in person. Like I just was not going to do it. So obviously all the bike shops were closed down. I couldn't go and shop. And then over, like I even got some like swim stuff and I couldn't use it because pretty much like, literally I think 2 days after I got my swim trunk thingies that are like meant for triathlons, our pool closed down and all the pools closed down basically. So I was like, dang it. So then in quarantine, I basically was just focusing on running, right? And but then finally stuff started opening up and last week I went and got a bike. So I ended up getting the Giant Defy Advance 3, which is like, there's like 3 versions of this bike. And the way that, for some reason, the way that Giant works is the lower the number, the better it is. Mm-hmm. So the 3 is the cheapest one. And then, so my bike, full disclosure, was $2,000, which is a lot of money. But that's for cycling bikes, it's cheap, which is insane. Cycling is very expensive.
Yeah, so, that blows my mind.
Yeah, it's insane. It really is insane. But
I mean, people are like, yeah, CrossFit's got a high cost of entry. And it's like, seen some of these other sports.
Yeah, dude, it's no joke, man. Like, so just to get started with everything that I needed, I basically spent $2,600, right? And
for 1/3 of the things you need for a triathlon.
Yeah, triathlons are no joke, man.
Let alone
dude, if you
running
sign
shoes and gear and all that, and the.
If we sign up for an Ironman, it's like over $1,000 just to register.
Yeah,
it's no joke, man. It's very expensive. So like, obviously, I've thought a lot about it before I got into it because I knew there would be a lot of costs.
Wait, did you? Oh, no, you didn't. You didn't sign up for an Ironman.
I did. No, I signed up for a triathlon, though, but that never happened. I was supposed to do it.
Did you get a refund?
No. And I kind of felt bad. I was just like, you know what?
Do you have credit towards another?
I think I do, yeah. Okay. They've sent me so many emails, and I'm just like, right now, I'm like, I don't care right now. I need to train for it anyways.
Yeah.
Right. So me and my friend Eric, who's actually been on the podcast, Eric the Electric, awesome guy. He is a very avid cyclist, he cycles a lot, hundreds and hundreds of miles every single week. So I was like, hey dude, I would love help to, I don't know. There's so many variables that go into cycling and I have no idea and I trust your opinion, right? So he kind of helped me pick out what I got. He went with me to the bike store to pick up the bike, helped me with figuring out the clipless pedals, which are still freaking scary, man. So basically they're called clipless, but they really are clip-in. I think it's from like the past. There was other ones that you literally had to clip, like with your hands, I think. But these are like ones that you have to step on and like click in, and then like your foot is connected to the pedal. The reason that they have it like that is because like, and I've noticed it, like when you're pedaling, if you're pedaling uphill, you can use the pull of the pedal.
Yeah.
And it's actually much easier. So it's not, so you can use you can use your hamstring and your quad instead of just using your quads when you're biking. So I got all that stuff. And he helped me with like setting up. He gave me a little like a tracker thing. It's called a Wahoo, which is like basically it's similar to like what I wear on my wrist, but it's for a bike, right? Tracks distance, speed, all those metrics, which it's actually quite fun to look at when you're riding. And so he kind of helped me with that. And I've been on 3 rides so far. And it's freaking fun, man. Like the thing with cycling that is, I still enjoy running, and I'm going to do triathlon, so I'm going to still run. But with cycling, I think for me, why I like it so much, and one is it's very new, right? So it's the shiny new thing right now. But for me, yeah. And but on top of that, so I'm a heavy guy, so I weigh 210 pounds. Running for me is not easy, right? And cycling is not easy either, but like running's hard as I'm doing it, but then afterwards it's a lot of toll on my body. Like you guys heard me when I trained for my marathon, I was always saying how my foot hurt, my ankle hurt, blah, 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 right? Yep. And there was a lot of reason for that. Obviously I don't have the best form. I'm sure that's a big part of it, but just being as heavy as I was and running as much as I was for the marathon, it just took a big toll on my body. And I would stretch so much and roll out so much, but it was a lot. So after every single bike ride that I've done, I really, people, it's kind of weird because like whenever I post that I did a bike ride, people are like, how many calories did you burn? And it's like, that's not really why I'm doing it. Mm-hmm. But like I'll be on the bike for over an hour and I'm like, I feel fine when I'm done. Like every ride I've done, I haven't stopped because I was so tired. It was like, okay, I don't want to go too hard at the start, right? So the first ride I did was 10 miles, and there's so many rules and like things I don't know about cycling. So the first ride I did, I literally basically went in a mile loop and did it. It was a little over a mile loop. I did it like 8 times, which ended up being 10 miles. And it was all right turns, and it was very like no hills. It was just very easy. I didn't have to worry about shifting gears or anything like that. And so, but that was good. It was like a confidence boost. I was able to use the clipless pedals and do all that stuff. And then the second ride I went on, I ventured out a little bit, not much, but I did 12 miles, and I like went up some hills and stuff like that, right? And messed with the gears a little bit more. And then this last ride that I went on was 20 miles, which was yesterday, and I did a lot more. Like I went into the street and turned left on a street, right? So that was scary because like I'm literally in a.
You use the
I'm not. Light? Yeah, I literally used where the cars are. You know, if you're going to turn left on a bike, you kind of have to do that. And so I did that, and I did a couple times where I stopped and like clipped in and out, just to practice, right? When I'm moving, because every other time I had basically not made it to where I didn't have to stop. So I didn't have to clip out of my pedals when I was riding. But this time I did 20 miles. I went to a bunch of places I had never been before. I went up some really, really big hills, and I was out there for like an hour and a half, and it felt like not that long, you know? And so, and on top of that, like I'm not like finishing up and being like in the shower. Like when I would go on runs, like if I would go on a 10K or anything longer, I'd be in the shower and just be like, oh man.
What am I doing?
Tough, you know? No, never like that.
Why am I doing this to myself?
But it was just like that was a tough run.
Sharded.
That's just you.
No.
But then after all of like the cycling and stuff like that, I never feel like that. Like I feel like I had a good workout, but I don't feel like my body's like really beat up. You know? And like again, I'm not trying to talk crap about running because I still very much enjoy running, and I think I always will. But with cycling, it's fun because I just feel like my body's less beat up, and obviously you can go a lot further and see a lot more stuff.
Yeah.
But the thing about cycling is that it's terrifying. Like, it's really scary. Like, being on a bike, going, at times I'm going almost 30 miles an hour. And, like, just obviously in my head, I'm like, well, I really hope my wheel doesn't break or something crazy happen right now. Because if it did, I'm done, And then the most scary thing, though, is cars, right? Like, okay, am I going to get hit by a car? Like, am I going, like, I'm always worried about, like, I don't want to be in a spot that doesn't really have a bike lane, so I have to be in the road, which I don't really like yet. And so there's just a lot to think about. So it's like, it's fun, but I think part of the fun is because I'm respecting it and, like, scared, but, like, I'm still trying to get over that fear and like, push myself, like, out of my comfort zone. But it's been really fun, man, and, obviously, eventually I would love to work on swimming and stuff like that, but I have a while until I think I'm going to do the triathlon because I really want to do this different. So the marathon last year, I did it like an idiot. Like I trained for 7 weeks. Like I did not give it the respect that it deserved.
How long do you think you should train for?
I should have at least double that amount of training, if not more. Like at least 4 months, I think I should have done. And I didn't. I did not even 2 months of training. And so for the triathlon, my goal is to do an Olympic distance, which I think is like, I forget exactly how long the swim is. I think it's less than a mile swim. And then it's a 20-mile bike ride, I'm pretty sure. I'm just going to look it up. And then I know it ends on a 10K run. But so that's kind of my goal. And like knowing how, like how fast I am as far as like my 10K, like that usually it'll probably take me a little over an hour after everything. And then as far as like the bike and everything, it'd probably be around around like a 4-hour event. And so I don't think that it would be that would be similar. So when I did the marathon, it took me like 4.5 hours. It's not very fast at all, but it's like I've done something that was similar as far as time domain, And so like I think I could do it, and especially because
it's switching
you're switching things. And so it's not just like I'm running the whole time, It's like you're going to be swimming for a little bit, Okay, here we go. Sorry, I was trying to find. So the swim, and these are like the official from totaltriathlon.com. It says the Olympic is a 0.93 mile swim, so it's 1.5K swim, a 24.8, so basically a 25 mile bike, and a 6.2 run at the end. So there's 5 different distances, it says here. So sprint is a half mile swim, 12.4 mile bike, and then a 5K run. And the Olympic is what I just said. And then there's UTI long, which is a 3K swim, an 80K bike, and a 12.4 mile run.
ITU?
Is that what I said?
No, you said UTI.
Whoops. ITU. I don't know what that means.
International timed unicycling.
You have to do it on a unicycle. And there's a half Ironman, which is 1.2 mile swim, 56 mile bike, and a half marathon run at the end. And there's full Ironman, which is a 2.4 mile swim, 112 mile bike, and a full marathon at the end. So I'm just going to do the Olympic, which isn't super insanely long, but yeah, that's my goal. I don't know. I'm going to give myself a lot of time, and like really train and try and like feel good. Like in the marathon, I completely fell apart at like mile 17, and then it was kind of rough from there on out. So I don't want that to happen in the triathlon.
You also PR'd some times in the middle of your marathon, which was
I ran too fast, and I PR'd my half marathon when I was doing my marathon, which is not a good idea. Yeah. Not a good idea.
Oh, man. I'll never have to experience that.
Why not?
Because I'll never do it. I'll probably do a marathon one day.
You should do a half marathon at some point.
I'll probably do a half marathon. I'll probably do a marathon. Probably won't do a triathlon just for the bike. That's expensive.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I
Well,
mean?
see, the thing is if you do like a sprint, you can use a mountain bike if you wanted to. Like you're not riding the bike that long.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean...
Especially from what I've heard... Usually when you're doing triathlons, the bike isn't like, you're not going up hills and stuff like that. They try and make it as flat as possible because it's not about that. Yeah. At least I could be wrong, but that's what especially Ironmans. Like Ironmans, they try to make it to where you're not like going up crazy hills because it's like, it's not about that. It's about the endurance kind of aspect.
Yeah.
I could be wrong though.
I mean, I think if I were to do like biking or whatever, I'd probably try to do the Tour de France.
Oh yeah, would you?
Yeah, I think that's probably like a reasonable goal. Probably win it.
Here we have Jean Glaude.
Probably win
It
it.
looks like he pooped his pants.
But he's in first place. Don't ask us how it's happening.
Because everyone else is disgusted and throwing up.
Yeah, I do CrossFit, so
Yeah, I'm sure you'd be fine.
I'd probably fare pretty well. But yeah, I mean, good for you. I'm glad that you're doing that.
Good for you. Thanks, John. I appreciate it.
Good for you. I'm glad you're doing that. I, on the other hand, am making sure that I can try to work out 5 days a week, which has been interesting. You know what has been humbling? Coming back from quarantine.
Oh my gosh, yeah, man.
Today I used to squat 355 for 5, 365 maybe. I hit a 400-pound squat at I was super proud of that.
Mm-hmm.
And today I came back and I got a 315. I'm like, all right, still warming up, still going, but it was a slow 315 for 5.
Uh-huh.
And then the guy before me in class, or the class before me, the heaviest one was a 335. And so I'm like, I can do 335, it's no problem. Now, not only that, I'll do 336. I threw some little half pounds on the side. I gotta let him know sometimes.
Was it Ricardo that you were trying to beat?
No, I was trying to beat Gorman.
Okay. Oh, okay.
He got 335, and he's strong.
He's really strong.
He's very strong.
Yeah.
Very strong man. And I'm like, if I can just show him up by 1 pound, my day will be worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, dude. 336. Got for 4. Feeling good. And then, 4 was pretty hard, and then 5 was just not going to happen.
So it wasn't like you misgrooved, like you just didn't have it?
No.
Like, what'd you have to do? Were you like at the very bottom of the squat and you were buried, or were you like halfway up and you just weren't gonna make it?
I got a little pop out, and then not talking about poop this time.
I was gonna say how you pooped. That's what happened. Okay, great.
No, I got a little bounce, but just not enough momentum to bring me back up to the top, and I bailed. But it's like, man, it's just a whole bunch of humble. But the thing is, I wasn't super consistent during quarantine, and my squat was going down pre-quarantine because I was dealing with my back.
Yeah.
Feels better. I feel pretty good right now. Stretching, trying to make sure that I'm doing smart stretching. whatever. Probably a little too much ibuprofen.
Yeah.
Like
John eats. He like sprinkles. So what he does is he has it in a one of those pepper grinders, and he just grinds it all over all his food.
I put it on my chicken and rice.
A little bit of ibuprofen for the road.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? You gotta get that.
Health and fitness, man.
Gotta get that. What brand is it? I think it's Motrin. Or one of them brands, and what they do is they have a nice little flavor coating up front, so then it tastes good and you don't gag on the way down. Don't listen to me. These are bad habits.
Don't do it.
Bad qualities I'm talking about.
But so what we do
here, I
here,
have been doing like three before I work out, 3 ibuprofen.
Every day?
No, but if, like when I'm feeling sore.
Every day?
No, not every day. But when
I don't believe you at all.
Nah.
You're 100%.
I'm 100% not doing it every day.
Whatever you say.
I'm probably doing it about 60% of the time.
60%?
Yeah.
Okay. 60% of the time, I do it every time.
So maybe 3 out of the 5, which is not a good habit to have. And it's definitely like developing some bad things.
Yeah.
But now you know. You know, I ain't gonna lie. Next thing is gonna be this thing they call it's I think it's like a cotton swab.
Uh-huh.
They call it like Oxycontin or something.
Oh my gosh. No, that's not funny.
Oh my gosh. But there's this freaking new guy who just showed up to the gym. I signed him up. All right.
Okay.
I got his membership going and everything. I'm like, this guy's pretty cool. And he's freaking strong and fast. And he showed up to the same class I'm at. And so it's like, okay.
Are you feeling a little threatened?
No, I don't feel threatened. Because he's like,
you do.
It's like one of those things where it's like you hate it because they're cool. And you just want to
I want to be mad at you.
Yeah, like I just want to hate you, but you're kind of cool too.
Yeah.
And you beat me at the squat. We squat together today.
And how much did he hit?
He got the 336.
Oh, he got the 336?
He got the 336. I'm like, yeah, I was like, like trying to be a bad example. You know what I mean? I'm like, hey, dude, you want to throw them halves on there? We got to let 530 know. And he's like, all right. And then I failed the squat.
Oh my god!
And then he beat me by like 4 minutes in the workout. It was only a 10-minute workout for me.
That's so funny.
So he
did he go heavier than 336?
No, that's where he stopped. But he said he hasn't squatted in 4 months.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah. He's got some friggin'.
That's pretty funny.
I'll tell you what, he's a meatball.
Yeah.
He's a big boy. But not big. He's 5'9", same height as me.
Who is this guy? What's his name?
I don't want to say, because what if he's listening to the podcast and then all of a sudden he knows I got his like...
Well, he knows that you're talking about. He's squatting with you. Who else was squatting there? Is he going to think it was?
I don't know.
Fine, you don't have to say his name.
No, his name's Cass.
Cass?
Cass.
All right, if you listen to this, Cass, if for some reason you find a dead animal in your your bag, Jean is sending you a message.
It's either a dead animal or a phone number.
Call me sometime, winky face.
Call me maybe.
Oh my god, call me maybe. Oh. and then you just ask him for squat tips, and then
I'm like, hey, how'd you get that thing? See, what I'm doing is I go to the gym about 2 days a week and I take ibuprofen. Is this working for me?
You just call him and you just give him a bunch of excuses why you failed it. I think I sharded him.
Yeah. I'm just like laying on the floor and I've got the cord like wrapped around me on the phone, twisting my ankle. I'm talking about
this poor guy
squat tips.
has no idea. He probably doesn't listen to this podcast.
There are thousands of people now who know about this guy named Cass in our class, and he has no clue.
I feel bad for this guy.
In theory.
Hopefully.
My worry is that he's going to
come in tomorrow and just stare you down.
I know. Or he's going to come in one day and he's going to be like, hey, dude, like, that's your office over there? Because our office is in the gym.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I do a podcast called the Work for Change podcast. And
like, but don't listen to episode 85.
Yeah. Don't listen to the episode titled I Poop My Pants. You might
that's going to be the title. That's the title of this episode.
You might think differently than me.
Yeah. Oh man, poor guy. I feel bad for him, but I'm sure he'll be fine.
Yeah,
he'll just beat you in all the workouts.
Okay, one more thing I want to talk about.
What do you want to talk about?
I don't know if we have anything else to talk about after that.
I have so many things to talk about.
Yeah?
No.
Okay. If you guys go to Target, if you have a Target near you, Target's brand of...
Target?
Yeah. They have a couple different brands of food.
This is not sponsored by Target, by the way. That would be cool, though.
They are so... We are sponsored by butt wipes this episode.
Kleenex butt wipes.
Yeah, but I think Archer Farms is one of their brands.
Yeah, that's their ice cream brand.
Yeah, guys, they have a low-cal ice cream. It's so good, and they don't rip you off. Yeah, like other brands of ice cream, you like open, and then it's like halfway full.
Yeah,
or it's like not touching any of the sides.
Halo Top
it's
and
like,
Enlightened are like 100% like that.
Yeah,
100% like
I wasn't gonna call names, but
whatever.
But Cass, Cass, if you're listening, there's this ice cream I like.
You need to eat Halo Top, okay? Not any other brand.
But it's a low-cal ice cream. I mean, I had a mocha coffee flavor, and it was only 340 calories. So, y'all, if you're looking for some low-cal ice creams, because, let's just say you're working out for an hour a day and then trying not to eat like an a-hole, this is a solid option for you, and I definitely highly recommend it.
I had, for the first time, I tried the Ben & Jerry's low-calorie.
Uh-huh.
It was a similar flavor. It was like mocha something. It was freaking really good.
Yeah, I saw.
Now, it was more calories than like a Halo Top or an Enlightened, so it was 600 for the pint. But if you compare that,
it was their low calorie option too, right?
Yeah. So if you compare that to the regular is usually like 1,200 to 1,500. So it was about half or less than half. And I mean, it tasted much better than Halo Top and Enlightened.
Yeah, that Archer Farms one was pretty good.
Like no shade at Halo Top or Enlightened.
They get the job for a market of people who felt like they couldn't have ice cream. Yeah, it was super necessary.
And they started it. You remember? Did you ever try Arctic Zero back in the day?
Yeah.
Oh my
that was
god,
bad.
They were like 200 calories, or like I think some of them were 100 calories a pint, and it was like
frozen protein.
Yeah, it was like frozen protein water.
Yeah.
That was not good.
Those ones were
But
rough.
hey, they were the first. Yeah. I remember Arctic Zero was the first ones that did it. And so shout out to them for starting it off. I know that they've like rebranded, and I think they have better ones. It's hard to find them though, but and they have ones that are like higher calories, so I'm assuming they taste better. But ooh, man, I remember when I was dieting down from my physique show, that's what was around.
Yeah.
I liked it, but it was because your boy could barely eat any food, so
yeah.
I appreciated it for that, because 100-calorie pint versus a 600-calorie pint, obviously, the Arctic Zero for the macros was much better, but for the taste, not very good.
So while we're revealing deep secrets,
gosh,
I'm not for you. I feel like I teased a pizza story like 3 weeks ago that I never fulfilled.
Yeah, you need to tell.
I never said the pizza story.
So give us
I'm a couple weeks removed from it now, so I think I can let people
give
know.
us some backstory then.
Well, the backstory is that I was trying to work out 5 days a week and be, I was like crushing it that week or the week prior. Like I was like.
So the pizza story is the reason that you decided you wanted to work out 5 days a week.
I don't think so.
I think it was.
Was it?
Yeah.
Maybe I just regretted my life so much after that point that I was like, I need to do this. All right, I don't remember that, but I believe you. And I was doing well. Felt like I was doing good. Maybe it was because I was like working out somewhat consistently compared to what I was doing over quarantine. Eating well that night for dinner. We just had a taco salad that Sam made, and it was delicious. And then we go and I have a Bible study that I go to, and during the summer we take a break, but we meet about once a month or something. So we went to their house, and this guy brings out pizza, and I'm just like, this is sick. Pizza, let me get a slice. It's Costco pizza.
Shout out to pizza.
Like big slices, not like if you bought an individual slice of, it was Costco pizza, but it wasn't like the ones that they're like
the one slice Costco pizzas are humongous.
Yeah, it wasn't those.
So it was basically regular sized slices.
But it was like a bigger slice.
Like so bigger than if you were to get like a large from Domino's.
It was it's bigger than the $5 pizza.
Okay.
But maybe a size larger than that. So maybe a large or something. And so I'm like, sweet, pizza. I love pizza. I've been doing well. So I had a slice of pizza. Then I had another slice of pizza. I probably had another slice of pizza and another slice of pizza. And then I'm like, okay, that was a lot of pizza. But,
so you're at 5 slices now.
That's 4 slices.
Okay.
And then we go to a different area, but we got iced coffee beforehand. And I'm like, oh, I forgot my iced coffee. So I walk back and I grab my iced coffee, and the pizza's right there. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna grab a slice of pizza. So 5 Costco slices of pizza, and I walk back and I'm just like, man, I definitely shouldn't have any more pizza.
So you've eaten, I'm assuming it's probably 8 slices for a whole pizza.
Yeah, probably.
So you've had 5 of 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
this is after you've eaten dinner.
Yeah, right after dinner. Like we ate dinner and left.
Okay.
And then Sam's like, oh, did you grab my drink? I'm like, nah, I didn't. So I go back and I grab her drink and look at this pizza there. So I grab a slice of pizza.
So we're at 6 slices now.
6 slices of pizza. And as I'm finishing that slice, I'm like, this was a mistake. This was a big mistake. And then like 5 minutes later, I just had the worst stomach ache in the world.
The amount of grease and stuff that you ate,
and
probably
cheese.
That? Oof, yeah.
You know?
And cheese, yeah. Because you're slightly lactose intolerant. You just don't want to admit it.
Yeah, exactly. I definitely am. So grease and cheese that I have not been, because I was doing well for like 2 weeks prior. And so then I, go up and I start feeling kind of sick, and then I come home and I'm just like in a lot of pain, and Sam's like, let's watch something, and I'm like, okay. So we watched Arrested Development, and then I'm just like laying on the couch, just uncomfortable, and then we go up to bed, and I stay up all night just in discomfort and pain. My stomach hurt that bad. And then I had a couple times where I had to go to bed. You know what I mean? A couple times. It was not comfortable. And then the whole next day, not feeling good. And then I had to go freaking coach 5:30 and 7 or something, or maybe just 5:30 p.m. I wasn't doing 7 that night. And here I am. Didn't work out because I didn't sleep all night because I ate myself sick eating pizza. Trying to coach these people on the fitness-related things. And I'm like, the fitness is not fitting this pizza in your mouth. That's what it's not. But that's what I thought it was, apparently. And so it was a hard lesson learned because you were there and you weren't there, but I was talking to you afterwards. I'm like, did I just develop binge eating? Like, I was like legitimately terrified. Like, we need to talk about this on the podcast. I'm like, we are not talking about this on the podcast because I was legitimately afraid of like, did I just create a binge eating disorder for myself? I think it was just a lack of discipline.
It was a lack of discipline, and then you being like, well, I've already had one piece. I've already had, you know what I mean? It's easy to like be like, whatever, I'm just going to eat however much I want. But now you've learned your lesson. I would hope, at least.
Yeah, no, I have, upon multiple occasions, stopped eating when I get to a point of feeling full. You know what I mean? Upon where it's like, I could finish this and be uncomfortable, or I can just stop here.
Okay, so I have to ask you.
Upon multiple occasions, I've done that.
When did Sam find out about how much pizza you were eating?
She knew the whole night.
Did she know the whole night?
Yeah. I don't think she realized how many it ended up being, but she like would see pizza in my hand. I don't think she realized that they were different slices. She maybe thought I was nursing one slice, but that's not what was happening.
Just at one point, he's just double fisting, you know.
And then the child dropped her pizza, and then freaking Bailey came in and literally ate the entire thing, our dog. And then
was she sick or no?
No, she was fine. But it was just like, gosh, like
we're terrible people.
What? Yeah, like what?
Look at what I've shown her.
Look at what I've shown my child, my dog child. But yeah, so guys, I'm ready to make a change.
Were you genuinely afraid that you've developed binge eating?
Yes. That's why I was like talking to you about binge eating disorder, because I'm like trying to figure out like, did I do this? Like, do these symptoms sound similar?
For me, binge eating disorder, what I felt like it was, everyone is very different, right? But for what was happening to me was, I would over restrict. So I would over restrict for 3 to 4 days, and for me, over restricting was eating 700 to 1,000 calories, right? But then the whole time I was doing that, it was like there was say it felt like the Grim Reaper or something. Like it was like behind me, and I knew he was there, right? But I was like, for the days that I wouldn't binge, I could hold him off, right? But then there would be days where it would be middle of the day, and I stopped even caring, and I knew that night I was going to binge, and so it was like I felt like I had no choice, like. I felt like I kind of had a choice where I kind of said, okay, you can get me today. But like at the same time, I felt like I had no choice, if that makes sense. And then it was this like really vicious cycle for me, because I would do that. And then the next day, however many calories I ate, 5,000, whatever it was, the next day I would feel bad. And then I would overly restrict, maybe eating almost nothing the next day. And then the cycle would just continue, right? And then the next few days later, I would over restrict, and then I'm super hungry, and then I binge, and then you know what I mean? And so it was rough for me. And like, whenever I talk about this, people always ask like, "Oh, what should I do? What should I do?" And for me, first off is like, I can't tell you what to do, right? And I'm not going to, because that's not my place, and I don't feel comfortable doing that. What helped for me was I just started naturally kind of eating a little bit more daily because I started working out. I started like learning more about nutrition and about macros and realized I was under eating severely. But I was under eating on the days where I didn't eat enough, but then I was overeating so much on the days that I ate too much that I ended up basically being at a plateau for a while.
Yeah.
And so for me, naturally, like lifting and stuff like that, it made me naturally just hungrier. And so that's what helped me a lot. But it's weird. It's funny because I was actually talking about like binge eating and stuff like that on my channel, and it seems like YouTube does not like if you say binge eating disorder or any sort of, or even if you really say eating disorder, because there was a video where I was like talking about this nutritionist on Instagram that was basically saying that any sort of tracking or anything like that is an eating disorder, right? And so I was talking about that in the video, and because of that, I think like that video got demonetized. And I'm very lucky that most of my videos don't. Even when I'm like talking about a kind of a controversial subject, I think because I don't cuss, I don't, I try it, and it's just who I am as a person. But it's like I'm not super brash and like you know saying terrible things, so I usually don't get demonetized, which I'm very thankful for. But this one did, and I was like, man, what? Because like in that video, I felt like I was actually more nice than I am usually, or not more nice, but like I was very civil. I wasn't overly mean at all. At least I felt like I wasn't. And that video, so it got demonetized. I put it up for review to YouTube, and normally I have that happen relatively frequently where they'll like say, oh, this is going to be demonetized if you want us to have manually review it, request, right? So normally I'll request and then it's turned around. It'll be fine. This time it was no-go still. And I was just like, wow. And like that's what scares me when it happens, because I'm like, okay, am I never allowed to talk about this? So now what I've been doing is instead of saying eating disorder, I'll just say ED. And then like for whatever eating disorder, I'll just use the acronym. So for binge eating disorder, I'll just say BED. And then I'll write binge eating disorder in the video. And that seems to be fine. But yeah, it was that was something that I dealt with like last week. And I was like, man. Because that stuff always scares me, man. Because I always catastrophize things. Yeah. And so like when something goes wrong, I'm like, all my videos are about to get demonetized.
Yeah, I'm about to lose.
And like everything's gonna fall apart. Everything's gonna be gone. And so that's what was it kind of went through my head when that first happened. Luckily, everything's been fine, and it was me overreacting for sure, which is pretty normal.
Yeah,
but,
like what?
Yeah, I'm an overreactor for sure. But yeah, that was an interesting thing that happened. But yeah, so with that whole story with binge eating disorder, it's definitely not like just this like one time thing. And there's a very big difference between overeating and binging, Yeah. And I would say that you were just dumb.
I just overate.
You were a dummy.
I was just wanting my pizza.
Yeah, you just wanted your pizza, and you were a dum-dum.
Yep. It was like a month ago, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I would say like 3 weeks. I don't think it was a full month ago.
It took me until last night to finally have pizza again.
I know, yeah. I was going to say, you guys had pizza last night, but it was like the ones that you make at home, and it wasn't...
super thin crust, and not even 1,000 calories for the whole thing, kinda, so... Anyway, thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah, thanks for listening to us ramble about poop and pizza.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want more like this,
if you want more like this, give us 5 stars on iTunes. No, but seriously, you guys, I think it might have been our biggest week last week.
Really?
Yeah, on downloads. So thank you guys for listening and for watching or whatever.
What a way to follow that up.
Yeah, what a way to follow that up. So this is probably gonna be our least downloaded.
Hey, we'll just be straight up right in the title. Poop my pants.
Poop my pants. All right, thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Goodbye.